Hi, everybody. Good to see everybody again. It's like old times. So what we're going to do today is we're going to share some stories. We'll take a look at some just people who had some design challenges that they worked through and how they thought their way through them. So without further ado, we'll just join hands and have fun this next hour. These were my submissions to Vogue for that anniversary issue. And you can see the differences in the structure of the different patterns. The pattern that Nora selected, she wanted the very first one that you see off one to the left to be paired with the swatch that I have for the cape. So now we've got a little bit of an issue here, and I'm trying to work it out, but I'm not liking it because this is not really going to work in the beautiful way that I want with that particular sketch. So then Nora comes on and I'm asking her, what do you really want? And she said, I just want a cardigan. So immediately I just draw a cardigan. I just start to lay it out. How am I going to echo that pattern so that the eye jumps and it all comes together? So we see off to your left exactly what made that swatch. And then I switch it around. Then we have a way that can come together in a cohesive manner when the garment is closed. And so that's the way we did it. So that was my story, and that was going on concurrently with everything that was happening in the DAL. So Fuyumi, you can walk us through your story.
I will show you the process, how I designed the trellis card. I don't have so much experience to design garments starting from schematic. So everything was interested in this course. I choose cable number 6 for the stitch pattern. When knitting the swatches, I found that it's too thick fabric. And another problem was the pattern is so big, and it was difficult to arrange in the garment. So I decided to reduce the number of the stitches in the pattern. I didn't decide which color is good for this cardigan, so I asked to send some 3 colors of the yarn and tried. Finally, I chose the color, but I'm not sure I use one color or the combination of the 2 colors. So I tried to knit and compare each of the swatches. Shirley said for me, it is your design, so to add border or not will be your choice. Shirley didn't say to do like this. She advised for me to decide. Then I gradually realized that my design was overstuffed. I decided that decoration around the cuff was removed to make the vertical line look better. In this way, my cardigan was completed just before the deadline. The DAL6 were really tough for me, but it was a great experience because I was able to focus and work on it. Thank you.
Hello, Shirley.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, and nice to meet you. Speak Japanese, okay?
Yes, you can speak in Japanese. Fred will translate to English.
ちょっとですね、文章2、3ぐらいで、止まって、そして私通訳しますので、逐次通訳よろしくお願いします。
ちょうど私は英文パターンを書く練習をしたいと思っているところに、このサマーデザインチャレンジがあって、練習がてらに挑戦してみることにしました。
Just before the summer challenge, I was thinking that I wanted to take on the challenge of doing my pattern in English, and so I decided to do this in English.
この中のテーマのシェルズパターンを、上下逆さまにしてみたら面白いと思って見たら植物のイメージをしたのでフラワーレースパターンを組み合わせることにしました。
I decided that I would take a shells pattern and I would turn it upside down because it seemed like an interesting way to do it.
結果、6種類のチャートを使っているのですが、それぞれの目数調整が難しくて何度もやり直しをしました。
I used 6 types of charts to do that, and it was complicated, so I had to redo it many times.
またボタンバンドを一緒に編むのか後から目を拾って編むのか迷っていて、それも試したかったから2枚編みました。
Also, I had to create the button band. I wasn't sure whether I was going to knit the button band in together with the fabric or whether I was going to add a button band later on.
で、結局、一緒に編む方が綺麗なので、パターンを実際書くときはこちらにしようと思います。
And so when I eventually put the pattern together, I decided that it was better to include the button band in the knitting of the entire fabric.
Thank you. とてもいい経験をさせていただきました。ありがとうございます。
I had a really good experience and I really appreciate the opportunity. Thank you so much.
I am still a relatively new knitter. I decided I wanted to push myself, and so I made this very complex design. I did not take into account the fact that, unlike the year before, now I was working full-time again, and I was going to school, and I was a part of the speech and debate team. I had 0 time to work on this. It felt like I was working during every single break, every single lunch. Any spare minute I had, I was working on this. Also, work was being very difficult at the time. I was working a lot of overtime that I didn't want to do, but I was being scheduled, and and a lot of the people that I knew were leaving the company, and it was just a very, very unhappy time. I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say that working on this project and figuring it out was probably the only thing that was keeping me from falling into a depressive state. It was keeping me sane, being able to work on this and to be able to think about this instead of other things. And I was pushing myself so hard to try and finish on the deadline. And in the end, I wasn't able to finish in time. The deadline came and it went, and I was still missing half a sleeve. I took a couple weeks because I was really sad that I had missed the deadline to just recenter myself before I got back to it. And I did finish the sleeve, and I put it all together, and I did the shawl collar, which was crocheted. Here is my finished cardigan. About a month longer than I wanted it to be, but I am so proud of it, and I think it looks absolutely beautiful.
It warms my heart, and it's always, very inspirational. I hope you had fun with us this afternoon, just spending some time and hearing some of the stories. And I hope all of you will continue to design.